There is always something new that appears when a drone takes off, scanning the world below. From the unexpected side of nature to mysterious and legendary creatures.
What is that?
Join us to watch the most unbelievable moments that no one was supposed to see.
What is that?
Drones can reach places humans can't, revealing secrets hidden deep in remote areas. That's exactly what happened to an explorer filming the snowy woods. As his drone glided over the towering trees, he spotted something strange. A figure covered in thick fur, but moving like a human. It wasn't a bear, as it was too big. Locals had long whispered about Bigfoot in the area. The explorer zoomed in, trying to capture more. But just as the creature passed under a tree, it vanished. It left no signs of where it went. Some say it simply disappeared into the forest. Others believe it stepped into a portal.
What is that?
A guy decided to test his new drone on a cold winter day in the Russian woods. As it soared over the snow-covered path, he spotted a terrifying sight: a man sprinting for his life, with a bear right behind him. Instead of just watching, he decided to capture the entire chase. The drone flew past them, recording every second. But then, he turned it around. Now the drone was chasing both the man and the bear, as if it had joined the hunt. And just like that, the video cuts off. So for now, we don't have answers to what happened next. Let's just hope the guy outran both the bear and the suspense.
Thank you guys, thank you.
A guy was out testing his drone, expecting nothing more than stunning aerial views. But while capturing the beauty of the waters, he noticed something unusual on a rooftop. Zooming in, he realized it was a cat. Stranded on the left bank of the Dnipro in Kherson Oblast, the poor feline had taken refuge on the roof with no way down. Thanks to the drone's unexpected discovery, help arrived just in time, and the cat was safely rescued. But how did it even get there? Cats are strange. Who told them to be such daredevils?
Oh, I see them.
A treasure hunter in eastern Canada spent years searching for fallen moose antlers. But in 2023, luck was on his side. While using a drone for work in a remote part of New Brunswick, he spotted a dark shape against the snow, a bull moose, resting in a clearing. Then, just before darting away, it shook its massive body. At that moment, its antlers snapped off, falling to the ground. Capturing such a rare event on camera, that's a once-in-a-lifetime find.
That is amazing. So Derek says he's been doing this for some 7 or 8 years.
To explain, a hole in the backyard.
An elderly couple thought their home was safe until their backyard disappeared. A massive sinkhole opened in their yard in Ipswich, Queensland, revealing a 100-year-old mine shaft hidden beneath their property. At first, the hole was just 1 meter wide, but within 24 hours, it expanded to 12 meters across, forcing them to evacuate. Beneath the surface was a 100-meter deep void created by an abandoned coal mine from the early 1900s. Authorities monitored the growing sinkhole as engineers worked on a solution. They had no option except to watch as the past came back to haunt them.
You want the good news, the bad news, I said.
The good news is you got a swimming pool.
And 3 of them had returned, and they, in fact, had reported that one of them had lost their way.
A man in India found himself stuck on a cliffside for 2 days without food or water after climbing Malampuja's Charad Hill. He had continued the climb alone after his friends gave up, but at some point, he slipped and got trapped between 2 rocks, unable to move. When his friends reported him missing, a drone was sent to search the area. The footage revealed him waving, even signaling for food and water. After 48 hours, a highly trained Indian Army team carried out a daring rescue to bring him to safety. Not exactly the solo adventure he had in mind.
And the boy has been waving his shirt and also signaling that he is completely famished.
A drone was soaring over the woods, capturing stunning aerial footage until a sudden ambush changed everything. Out of nowhere, a massive wedge-tailed eagle charged straight at it. With a powerful strike, it punched the drone out of the sky. The machine spiraled down, crashing into the ground. It might have mistaken the drone for prey, or was simply protecting its territory. Either way, nature proved once again the sky belongs to its true rulers. Rescuing people, feeding animals, capturing nature. Drones have done it all, but this time, it was a heroic stunt. Arizona's Glendale Police Department shared footage from high above a big box store, revealing an unusual scene. Target employees had called in, reporting that an unknown person was hiding in the back storage room. Instead of rushing in blindly, officers sent a drone ahead to investigate. The camera scanned the area and found a man lying on top of a merchandise storage rack, but his hiding spot didn't last long. Authorities quickly moved in and took the unnamed man into custody. Drones might be known for life-saving missions, but sometimes they just help uncover a really bad hiding spot. In June 2018, a 75-year-old man went missing after walking through fields near Titchwell Marshes. Thick reed beds made it nearly impossible to find him. A massive search began. Police, Coast Guards, and even a lifeboat from Wells. But with no sign of him, officers turned to technology. A police drone soared over the marsh, scanning the thick reeds. Then a breakthrough. The drone spotted him, trapped and unable to call for help. Rescuers moved quickly, pulling him to safety. He was suffering from hypothermia and was airlifted to the hospital.
There's something wandering across the face of that.
A video surfaced online, and many are calling it the best evidence of Sasquatch. An explorer captured the footage using a drone at a valley 4,200 feet above sea level. The drone zoomed in on a mysterious figure at 9,000 feet, moving effortlessly across the steep, snow-covered mountainside. But it wasn't just walking. It was running straight up through 90 inches of snow without struggle. For comparison, a 6-foot-tall man was filmed trudging through just 18 inches of snow in the same area, and the difference was undeniable. An Animal Channel was filming the calm waters of a mangrove with a drone when an alligator appeared in the frame. It floated still, its eyes locked onto the hovering device. Then it lunged. The alligator jumped out of the water, snapping at the drone as if it were prey. But the operator had already pulled back, anticipating the move. A close call, but a clear message. Alligators don't like intruders in their territory. A drone hovering above calm waters captured a breathtaking yet terrifying sight. A massive blue whale passing by a small boat. The size difference was unbelievable. One flip of its tail could have easily tipped the boat, sending waves crashing around it. But nothing happened. Everything remained still. These giants may be the largest creatures in the ocean, but they move with surprising grace. It's a good thing they don't hold grudges or mistake boats for playthings. When the weather gets cold, manatees gather at Three Sisters Spring in Crystal River, Florida, one of the few places where they can escape the chill, since water below 68 degrees can make them sick. A drone video from January 5th, 2018 captured hundreds of manatees scattered along the shoreline, part of the recently restored habitat. This area is critical for their survival in winter. Despite their cuddly appearance, they were simply trying to fit into the small, warm water refuge. Three Sisters Springs is the only U.S. refuge dedicated to protecting manatees, showing that even sea cows prefer a heated pool. What do you do when an island suddenly appears in front of your house? In Wisconsin, that's not just a strange thought. It's a real problem. On Lake Chippewa, massive floating bogs drift across the water, sometimes blocking bridges and cutting off access. When one of these islands got in the way, residents came up with a simple but clever solution. They gathered 20 boats, powered up their engines, and worked together to push the massive bog out of the way. Lake Chippewa is known for these drifting islands. Some are small, but others stretch across acres, like the legendary 40-acre bog. Who needs tow trucks when you have boats? Over Hakodate, Japan, a shocking sight was revealed. Thousands of lifeless fish covering the shoreline. The drone footage showed what looked like a silver blanket stretching nearly a mile along the shore. Locals had never seen anything like it. Authorities had no clear explanation. Some experts suggested the fish may have suffocated in dense schools or from sudden cold waters. But speculation quickly turned to a bigger concern. The timing couldn't be ignored. Just 3 months earlier, Japan had started releasing treated radioactive water from Fukushima into the ocean. The move sparked backlash, netizens calling it reckless. A drone hovered over the clear waters of Destin, Florida, scanning the surface. Everything seemed normal until a dark shape appeared below. A massive black figure moved through the water with an eerie smoothness. It wasn't a sea snake, and it didn't move like an eel. As the drone got closer, its massive size became clear. Beachgoers couldn't stop talking. Some wondered if it was still safe to swim. Others believed they had just seen a legendary sea serpent. Maybe the ocean isn't done with its surprises yet.
And fire using helicopters for search and rescue, but it's a lot less expensive and it can get up much faster in all kinds of weather.
A 1.5-year-old Shiba Inu dog had gone missing in the woods, and time was running out. As the temperature dropped, its owner feared the worst until a drone team stepped in. Using a heat-sensing drone, the firefighters scanned the area and spotted a tiny white dot on the screen. They found it, trapped with its leash tangled in branches. Rescuers carefully approached, tossing treats to keep it calm. Moments later, the dog was safe and reunited with its owner. This success proves that drones are more than just gadgets. They're becoming a game changer for search and rescue.
Zoomed in on it and saw the fur of this dog.
A drone captured a strange sight, a massive tree being pulled down with force. But by what? When the video was uploaded, people noticed the tree moving, as if something was using it to hide. Whatever it was, it had to be at least 20 to 30 feet tall. Some believed it was Bigfoot. Others were sure it was a Nephilim. Either way, whatever was out there was strong enough to take a tree with it. Drone footage from Lake Chechelis revealed an unexpected sight. With no filters, the camera showed trees that are normally underwater, now fully exposed. As the summer heat lowered the water levels, a haunting landscape emerged. A vast plain stretched out, covered in nothing but cut tree trunks, a silent reminder of mass deforestation. There were countless tree stumps all over the place. Nature hides its scars well, until the water recedes. Human activities, from logging to land development, had reshaped the landscape. The water may rise again, but the scars left behind tell a different story. Drone footage revealed a striking sight: a lone tree standing in the middle of the water on a salt island near Ein Bokek, Israel. Known as the Lonely Tree, it sits 90 meters from shore, more than 20 kilometers from Arad. Before 2017, this tree didn't exist. It was placed there as an art installation by a local artist, not a naturally growing tree. The installation serves as a statement on the shrinking Dead Sea and the effects of climate change. Over time, it has become a symbol of resilience, standing alone in the vast, salty waters. Back in 2021, a group of starving dogs got trapped near La Palma's volcano, stranded on a tiny patch of land completely surrounded by lava. With no way out, things looked grim until two companies jumped in to help. They used drones to drop food and water, keeping the poor animals alive while rescuers figured out a way to reach them. It was a mix of technology and kindness, proving that even in the worst situations, there are always people willing to step up. A tough time for everyone, but at least some heroes had wings. Lolong was the biggest crocodile ever recorded, 6.2 meters long. Since his passing in 2013, no crocodile of that size had been found, until now. Authorities in Maine received reports of an enormous creature in a lake. At first, it sounded impossible. Crocodiles don't belong there. But when they arrived, what they saw left them speechless. A massive reptile, longer than Lolong, floated in the water. Drone footage confirmed it. This was something extraordinary. The footage shocked experts. If verified, this would be the new record holder. Looks like Lolong might finally have some competition. The internet has given people exposure to almost everything. Even if they haven't seen something in real life, they've at least heard about it. But one elderly villager, living traditionally, had no such knowledge. When he spotted a drone hovering nearby, he was puzzled. He squinted at it, unsure of what he was seeing. As the drone moved closer, his confusion turned to alarm. He stood up quickly, waving his arms, trying to defend himself from the strange flying object. To him, it wasn't technology. It was an unknown visitor. In February 2025, an unusual sight caught the attention of locals near Odisha's Rushikulya beach. A crowd gathered as the ground seemed to shift in waves. Then, tiny heads began to emerge, olive ridley turtle hatchlings. The mouth of the Rushikulya River in Odisha's Ganjam district has become a crucial nesting site for these endangered turtles. This year, a record-breaking 698,718 turtles arrived for mass nesting. As these hatchlings surfaced from their nests, the beach came alive with movement, leaving onlookers amazed. A tourist flying a drone over Zion National Park was capturing its beauty when an opening high up on a sandstone cliff caught his attention. It didn't look natural, raising questions about how it was built. His initial thought was wild. It must be an underground alien base. But the truth was more grounded. The opening was actually part of the Zion Mount Carmel tunnel, built between 1927 and 1930. Workers had carved it out to help with excavation during the construction of the 5,613-foot tunnel through Mount Carmel. Today, both the tunnel and the 25-mile highway are recognized as National Historic Landmarks. Still, for those who don't know the history, it's easy to let the imagination run wild. People in Madrid couldn't believe their eyes when a massive crack split open in Plaza de Calallo, with what looked like lava pouring out. The road was broken, and smoke was rising from the glowing pit. And right next to it, experts in yellow suits were inspecting the scene. It felt like a disaster unfolding until the truth came out. This wasn't real. It was part of a promotion for the new show. The so-called experts were just actors, and the crack was a clever illusion. Still, for those who saw it before the news spread, it was a moment of pure shock. Humans have come a long way with advanced technology, but some still choose to live as their ancestors did. In a striking new video, members of an uncontacted indigenous tribe in Indonesia stand just meters away from roaring bulldozers, signaling for outsiders to stay back. This footage is more than just a rare glimpse into their world. It's a warning. On Halmahera Island, the Hongana Manyawa people are watching their rainforest vanish as logging and nickel mining carve into their land. What's meant to be a step toward a greener future is for them a threat to survival. Thanks to technology, cameras capture what the eye might miss. This time, drone footage revealed a vast field, towering mountains, and something unusual, which looked like smoke rising from a mountain. But as it spread, the truth became clear. These weren't clouds or mist. They were millions of swarming bats twisting through the sky. At one point, their shifting mass even took the shape of a giant snake slithering above the landscape. Swarming brings bats from different colonies together, increasing their chances of mating and strengthening genetic diversity. For a moment, the mountains seemed alive, shifting and pulsing. Mountains may look unshakable, but they are some of the most unpredictable places on Earth. One wrong move, and the entire landscape can change in an instant. In this video, a thick cloud of dust comes crashing down the terrain. Regions like this, even a single vibration, whether from nature or human activity, can set off a risky chain reaction. That's the risk of these ever-changing peaks. You never know what might come next. And here's another footage. Daikon blasted 170,539 feet of trench rock for an 80-mile pipeline project in Texas. A staggering 948,025 pulse of dynamite was used, all in under 3 months. With that much force, even the toughest landscapes can be reshaped in an instant. During a routine military drill, a pilot was flying over the ocean when he witnessed something truly unexpected. Beneath him, a giant creature with long tails moved through the water. It was so massive that it was visible even from high in the sky. The pilot couldn't help but think of the legendary Leviathan, a creature from myth known for its terrifying power. The way it moved, it seemed to be getting ready for something. If you ever spot something like that, it's probably best to make a quick exit. While strolling across the rocky terrain, the traveler captured a surprising sight. Hin Sam Wan, also known as Three Whale Rock, is a 75-million-year-old formation in Bueng Kan, Thailand, near the Mekong River. The name is inspired by its resemblance to a family of whales: father, mother, and baby. An aerial view reveals the full beauty of this formation, showing the massive rocks stretching out like whales swimming through a sea of lush green forest. This unique geological feature has become a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors eager to witness its natural beauty. Deep in the Amazon, researchers set up cameras to study wildlife, but through the trees, they spotted people. Their skin was painted red, their movements quick and silent. Before the cameras could focus, they were gone. A field expert had tracked remote tribes for years. He knew they existed, but seeing them like this was different. The footage showed gardens deep in the forest, proof of a hidden life, but that life was at risk. Illegal loggers were getting closer, clearing land fast. Some tribes had already been forced to flee. Even worse, outside contact could bring disease, wiping them out. As the forest disappears, so does their chance to stay hidden. In 2020, drone footage of Russia's Iskatimka River left locals stunned. The water had turned beetroot red, and no one knew why. Distressed residents noticed ducks refusing to enter, hinting at a serious problem beneath the surface. Social media was flooded with photos, sparking fears about the environmental impact. Officials launched an investigation. They believed a blocked drain could be the source, contaminating the river with an unknown pollutant. Even the deputy governor admitted that it was due to human activities and toxins, but the exact chemical is still a mystery. Back in 2022, something strange appeared on Sydney's Bondi Beach, a massive, glowing red void surrounded by twisting, branch-like vines. It looked like a scene from another world. People gathered around, trying to make sense of it. But this wasn't some unexplained phenomenon. It was actually part of a publicity stunt for the 4th season of a popular TV series. For one morning, Bondi Beach felt like a gateway to another dimension, and for fans of the show, it was a chance to step right into the world of their favorite story, if only for a moment. Back in 2022, drone footage captured a shocking sight. China's Poyang Lake, normally filled with water in August, was drying up. Large portions of its cracked lakebed were exposed, revealing the impact of a long drought and extreme heat wave. It regulates water flow in Jiangxi province, expanding in summer and shrinking in winter. But 70 days of record heat made it shrink down to just a fifth of its usual size. Villagers and tourists walked across the dry flats, stepping over lifeless mussels and fish. The sudden loss of water also disrupted shipping routes and drinking water supplies, forcing authorities to release water from major reservoirs to ease the crisis. In 2020, as COVID-19 cases surged, New York State had more infections than any other state at the time. Drone footage captured workers in full protective gear, carefully placing coffins in long trenches. The island, located off the Bronx in Long Island Sound, has been a mass burial site for over 150 years. Prisoners from Rikers Island traditionally handled the burials, but as the workload increased, contractors took over. A haunting image of the pandemic's toll, reminding the world of the sheer number of lives lost in such a short time. In the wild, survival is the greatest challenge, and that's exactly what this drone captured. A stunning video from Russia shows a herd of reindeer moving in a tight circle, a mesmerizing display of instinct and strategy. This unique motion, known as the reindeer cyclone, is a defense mechanism used to protect the most vulnerable. Calves stay in the center, while the adults move rapidly around them, creating a dizzying effect that confuses predators. The footage, reportedly captured by a photographer, quickly went viral, leaving viewers amazed by nature's built-in survival tactics. A startling sight was captured by a drone. The beach turned red. It wasn't a trick of the light. It was the red tuna crab invasion. In June 2015, thousands of small, lobster-like red tuna crabs washed ashore in Southern California. Their usual home was near Baja California, but something had pushed them far north. Scientists believed it was unusually warm ocean temperatures. Strangely, warm patches in the Pacific stretched all the way from Southern California to Alaska. Experts were left wondering, was this just a rare event or a warning sign of bigger changes ahead? In December 2013, the small farming community of Chualar, California, was stunned when intricate crop circles suddenly appeared in a barley field. An aerial photographer captured stunning images of the formations using a drone, calling them beautiful, but expressing doubt about any alien involvement. Speculation quickly spread, with some believing it was extraterrestrial activity, while others suspected a hoax. Just days later, the truth came out. It was all part of an elaborate marketing campaign by a technology company from Santa Clara. Well, it showed how mystery can be used to stir public imagination and a bit of skepticism. A driver was moving along the road when he noticed a tree had changed its position. It shifted from one spot to another before settling again. Folklore speaks of trees that are not as rooted as they seem. Across cultures, legends tell of sentient trees that move in secret, shifting under the cover of darkness. Some say they protect sacred lands, while others fear they are ancient beings. In South America, the walking palm is known to shift over time, its roots adapting to find sunlight. But what if much larger trees can do the same, unseen by human eyes? In August 2021, visitors at Newfound Gap Overlook were stunned. From a distance, it looked like the Great Smoky Mountains were on fire. Thick clouds of smoke rose over the peaks, drifting through the valleys like a spreading wildfire. panic set in. Tourists began capturing what seemed like a crisis, but soon the truth became clear. There was no fire, just the legendary mist that gives the mountains their name. Captured by a drone, the breathtaking view spread across the internet, allowing even those at home to witness the magic. Humans have damaged much of the ecosystem, but some places still exist in their purest form, mesmerizing everyone who sees them. Recently, in Jining, Shandong, drone footage captured the breathtaking beauty of Waishan Lake. The water was so clear, it looked almost invisible. Beneath the surface, swaying aquatic plants painted a dreamlike scene. The boat drifting across the lake seemed to float through a living masterpiece. Netizens were stunned, calling it a real-life painting. The lake's pristine condition is no accident. Local efforts in pollution control have helped maintain its clarity, ensuring clean water flows north. Waishan Lake proves that with care, nature's masterpiece can still shine. Open discussion.
De ser correctos con la gente, pues está todo permitido, ¿no? Y siempre tienes un vecino.
If you hate doing laundry, this festival isn't for you. Every year, 20,000 people gather in Buñol, Spain, for La Tomatina, the world's biggest food fight. Trucks roll in, unloading over 120,000 kilos of tomatoes, and for one wild hour, the streets become a battlefield of flying pulp. You can barely move in the crowd, the tomatoes sting, and by the end, everything and everyone is coated in red. When it's over, the town looks like a war zone, but somehow, everyone leaves smiling. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.